The lighting's good, right? My hair? Okay. It's on? Hi!
What we do here is go back.
Hey guys, Zelda here. I wasn't aware it was recording. Welcome back to our channel. My hair is already did. If y'all didn't see the hair review on this chemo braid hair, go check that video out. Don't worry, I'll put the link down below. Thank you. If you saw that video and you're seeing this one and you're like, you got the same shirt on. Hey, listen, a girl's gotta, multitask. I gotta do 2 videos in one day. I am back today with a different video. I've been binge watching story times, and I was like, I gotta do another story time. As of today, recording today in February 2021, I only have one other story time, which is African Hair Braiding Horror Story. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But my good sister from another Missa, my sister from another Mr. Nisi, hi Nisi, I know you watch it. She was watching that video the other day and she was like, girl,
that is my favorite video, so when you gonna do another one?
And I'm like, I kind of don't have any more hair horror stories. I do have other weird scenarios in my life, and I was really thinking, and I was like, I do have something else that I could talk about. As you guys see in the title, apparently me, Zelda, Michelle, sweet innocent Michelle, got into a 10-person brawl in my hallway. It was probably more than 10 people. Yeah, it had nothing to do with me.
Nope.
And you're like,
wait, so you just fighting random people in your hallway just because?
Nope.
More so of my friend, we're gonna call him Felix. Felix was my childhood friend turned boyfriend, yeah. We weren't dating at the time of this incident, He had a rough upbringing as a child. Him and his mom had a rocky relationship. Felix was a smart kid, you know what I'm saying? But then he started hanging around the wrong people. Towards the ends of our relationship, Felix started going left, I was going right. He was into that bud and stuff, sipping on that gin and juice, you feel me? I was like, nah, I don't want no parts of that. I'm not about that life. So me and him, like, we split up or whatever. But, for some reason with my exes, they love to be my friend. I was like, you know what? Trying to be your friend after we break up. But I can't even front. Me and Felix had so much fun as friends that it was hard to just say I wasn't even mad, because it was a mutual breakup. He wanted to go his own way, so did I. That's how you should break up. Me and Felix have been broken up for quite a few years at this point, and because we grew up together, anytime Felix was down and out, my mom had a soft spot. She couldn't stand to see him live on the street. He grew up with me, so she let Felix live with me on and off throughout the early to mid 2000s, including other friends that live with me. Long story. He was living with me, but he wasn't. His stuff was there. He would come home once in a blue, but he was kind of staying with his friend, let's call him Steve. And his friend Steve was nothing but trouble. They hung out, they did all types of stuff. He hung around a whole bunch of deadbeats.
I'm sorry, they were deadbeats.
I just didn't like him hanging around with this guy. I always felt this guy was trouble. So he was living with him, and every time I call him, you coming home tonight?
No, I'm not coming.
All right, bye. Click, lock the door, go to sleep. Felix would just not come home, and I was like kind of mad because he was my buddy. We would watch South Park together and crack up and play Mario Kart. I'm a big kid. You check out my channel, got gaming, so.
It's just a plug.
But all of a sudden, Felix is like, oh, I'm done with Steve and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why? What happened? What'd you do? What did you do?
No, I'm not going back over there. I'm done. I'm tired of him and blah, blah, blah.
I guess they got into some sort of disagreement or argument. Back then we had what we call Boost Mobile bleep phones. Y'all too young for that. Y'all don't know that. But this is for my generation. People who were born in the 80s and grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s. We had bleep phones, prepaid phones. Oh, I wish they would bring those back. All you had to do was put a SIM card in and buy some minutes. Bam. You talk like it's a walkie-talkie. It was like the best invention ever. So this guy brought Felix a SIM card. I forgot how much it cost at the time. He brought Felix a SIM card, and Felix, being broke as usual, his mom put money on his SIM card. I don't know how much she put on, but she gave him a lot of money to put on there. Felix is the type of person where everybody buys him and caters to him and takes care of him. Not me.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
I was only helping Felix because he was a childhood friend. And then, you know, their friendship broke up, and now he's like, I want my SIM card back because he's being a little bitter. In my personal opinion, I think Steve, his friend, I think he liked him in that way. And Felix is such a womanizer. He likes women on top of women on top of women.
Yeah.
And I think something went left in that area. I'm just saying. I don't know if Steve tried to come on to him or anything, but you know, yeah, something happened. I don't know. The guy was acting like they were in a relationship and they broke up. Whatever the case was, he wanted his SIM card back, and Felix was like,
I'm not doing it now. I'm not. I'm done with him. I'm coming back home and blah, blah, blah.
So I thought that was the end of it.
Nope.
So one day, it was sometime in the winter, almost around this time of year. This was like in the mid 2000s. I forgot what year it was. Mid 2000s. It was like the morning, and Felix is on the phone, bleeping, arguing with Steve, his ex-friend at the time, arguing with him, going back and forth, and the guy kept calling him back, and I'm like, you sure you don't want to tell me something? Hey, I'm not gonna judge you. He was just blowing up Felix's phone, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Felix was like,
No, I'm not giving him ish. My mommy put money on.
and I was like, all right, that's the no. What happened was Felix stopped picking up the phone, and I was like, you should just tell him, you know, you guys really need to talk instead of yelling at each other. You know, I'm the type who likes to talk instead of yelling and stuff. So I think I was starting to get ready because, you know, me being a young adult that I am, responsible young adult, had to go to work. And then shortly after that, probably like a half an hour later, it got nice and quiet. A half an hour later, there's someone outside my living room window. I'm like, do I hear Felix? Felix! Yo, Felix! I open the window. I'm like, oh my gosh. Felix, your buddy and his homies are outside. I mean, he had like 2 people. He's still being stubborn.
No, I'm not going out there. Forget him.
He didn't go outside. I'm like, I didn't really want him to because, you know, he had 2 other people, but they weren't hostile at this point. They just camped outside. And I'm like, are you serious? I kind of got to go to work. I don't want to have to walk past them and they come up to me. Oh, is Felix there? Can you tell him to come outside? And I'm like, oh, please leave. So I think they left the parking lot, but I wasn't sure if they left my neighborhood. And I was like, all right, I'm going to work. I hope, you know, they don't bother me. He's like,
they're not going to bother you. Forget them, man. They're not going to bother you.
I'm like, all right. So I left the house and went to work. I didn't see them, whatever.
I'm thinking it's over.
Nope.
I come home from work. You know, I got groceries in my hand because, you know, I like being a young, responsible adult. I brought some rotisserie. My favorite thing to get, because I worked at Pathmark, that was a grocery store, was rotisserie chicken, macaroni that I'm going to make, I'm going to make baked macaroni, some biscuits and gravy and some iced tea. My favorite to this day with broccoli. Always have broccoli. Came home with that. Hey, family. Hey. I got some food. I'm gonna make us some dinner, all right? And you know, Felix and my sister come up to me.
Yo, we gotta tell you something.
They came to our building and knocked on the door, and
You know what I'm saying? We scared them off type of thing.
so apparently Steve came back again. They knocked on our door instead of sitting in the parking lot. And my sister and Felix was like, nah, y'all gotta get out of here type of thing, and blah blah blah. And then my neighbor, let's call her Brenda came down and was like, yeah, y'all gotta get out of here. And they were like,
Yeah, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Step, son, step.
you know, they came down and apparently ran them off. Apparently. Felix was like, yeah, yo, my sister was kind of hyped, like,
They don't know who they messing with. This is Ryan.
and I'm like, okay, so they just left, and they're like, yup, we scared them off. He didn't say we scared them off, but his whole demeanor was like, we scared them off. And I'm like, I just had a bad feeling. I was like, I don't know about this. I just had a funny feeling, a funny bad feeling. So I went in the kitchen and I was cooking my food for my family. I remember hearing the doorbell ring. Yeah. It's like, who's at our door? I don't remember this part, is a little vague. I know Felix didn't go to the door. I don't think my sister went to the door. Or she did. Like her and Felix, I think they opened the door, and you know, we have a lobby before you get into the building that they can't get in without you ringing them in. And I think my sister opened the door, and Felix and they brought a group of people with them. It had to be at least 6 to 10 extra people they brought with them. I'm like, oh my gosh. They brought their group of people like I knew I knew it. I just knew they were gonna retaliate. I just had that funny feeling. And I think my sister and Felix closed the door and was like, yo, they brought their hood. And my sister, she's like, oh, okay, well then, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call Shaniqua, my other neighbor, and we gonna, you know. And I was like,
No. Oh my gosh, no.
I was like, don't let them in, blah, blah, blah. My mom's like, don't let them in. And I started getting nervous, of course, because I'm like, what's about to happen? And then they kept kind of ringing my doorbell. They weren't the most, how should I say, aggressive group. You know, they weren't ringing my doorbell like, la, 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 la. No, it was just kind of like, bililip. What do you want? And I think my mom eventually went to the door and was like, y'all gotta go, you know. Oh, but we not trying to disrespect you, but we just want Felix. And my mom was like, Felix ain't here type of thing. And she's like, y'all gotta go and blah blah blah. And y'all need to stop ringing my doorbell or else I'm gonna call the cops. And then she closed the door. They were down the hallway in the stairs. We didn't ring them in yet. And she closed the door and I was like, all right, here we go. We wanted to call the cops, but you know, I don't want to call my neighborhood a hood because to me it wasn't.
Nope.
But in the hood, that's not the first thing you do. You don't be like, yo, I'm gonna call the cops. Let me call the cops. No, we don't do that. You know, we try to handle it ourselves. Then when stuff breaks out, someone calls the cops. But we were threatening verbally, but we didn't actually. Oh my gosh, hello? We already know, y'all say it with me. When you call the cops in a black neighborhood, they're gonna be there in what?
45 minutes.
Yes, thank you. So my mom's verbally said it, closed the door, walked away. You know, they kept ringing. I don't know how, there was a point where somehow they got in our building. They got past that lobby door. Maybe somebody left the building and was probably like, excuse me. And they, oh shoot, we got in. They somehow got in our building and then they started knocking on our door. They were like, all they wanted was Felix. They didn't care about nothing else. We just want Felix. And I think my mom went to the door again. It's like, listen, y'all, she started getting a little firmer. Y'all gonna have to stop knocking on my door. Felix is not here. Y'all need to go and stop, you know, don't be disrespectful, something like that. And when I heard my mom was at the door and I heard they were in our building, I was like, oh no. And I walked over there, and I was like, y'all need to stop. I got real annoyed because it's like my mom just had a heart attack probably 2 weeks prior. She was still recovering, you know, so she just had a heart attack. She don't need to deal with none of this nonsense. I wasn't about to let anybody get my mom amped, because my mom, I'm telling you, if she didn't have that heart attack, my mom can get really amped up. My mom had that mindset at the time. My mom's been through a lot in her life, a lot. If she hear anybody disrespecting her kids, it's a wrap. So I did not want my mom to get to that level. So I ran up to the door and I was like, look, y'all need to go. Y'all disrespecting my building. You're disrespecting my house. Stop. Oh, we're not trying to be like that. We just want Felix. I said, Felix is not here. So now, and then I remember giving my little speech. There's this big Debo looking sister. I don't know who I think she was Spanish or whatever, standing in the front with Steve. I remember her scanning me up and down like she wanted a piece of me.
Not in that way.
This chick was at least, and I'm not being dramatic right now, at least 5'11", and she was a big woman. She was a big girl. But I am 5'6". I'm 5'6" now. I don't know how short I was at the time, but I'm 5'6". This girl,
I'm looking up at her.
this girl was tall. I was like, and I knew she was scaring me. I don't care how big or tall she was. I wasn't scared of her. I was just like, hit me, we're gonna fight type of thing. But I was like, listen, y'all need to go. And she was like giving me a look like up and down, like, who's this chick? I live here.
That's who I am.
So that was that. I closed the door. I locked it. I was like, nah, I started getting upset. And I was like, no, this is getting ridiculous. We're probably going to have to call the cops and blah, blah, blah. And my mom's like, all right, well, don't go out there. And that was all I can remember my mom saying at that point was, don't go out there. Don't go out there this. And don't you stay here. This part is vague to me. I don't remember what happened. I don't know if someone called the cops at this point because they were becoming a little bit too intrusive. They were getting a little bit more aggressive. My neighbor, call her Shaniqua, came down. I think this is when I still had the door open. I was like, y'all need to go. She came down and was like, listen, y'all need to be quiet. My mom's upstairs sick. You know what I'm saying? Now, she's a little hood.
Y'all need to be quiet. My mom's upstairs sick and everything. Y'all making too much noise, blah, blah, blah. I don't know who y'all are, but y'all need to get out of here.
I think they eventually started inching away. I don't know. But I went back in the kitchen and I just remember, hearing like everybody, yeah, la, 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 in the hallway. I'm like, my mom's, her favorite line, y'all, say it with me. Don't go out there. Don't go out there, y'all. I'm like, I'm not. You hear people arguing in the hallway. I was like, dang, I think my neighbors are arguing with them because they don't want to tolerate this. And then you go from hearing arguing to nothing. And I'm like, I tell you what I did hear though. And I was like, oh snap! They throwing down outside. Yo, they fighting. I ran to the door. What was my mom's favorite line, y'all? Say it with me. Don't go out there. I'm not, Mom. I just want to, I'm listening at the door.
Yo, they throwing down.
You can hear somebody getting hit against my door. I was like, who they're fighting? Oh my gosh! So I walked back to the kitchen. I was like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what made me think, wait, where's my sister? I went to the room to check. My apartment is only 2 bedrooms. It's not that big. So there was no place to really go. I went in our room, because we shared a room at the time. I was like, where's my sister? She's not in the bedroom. Mom, where's Maya? I don't know. She's not in here. She's not in the living room, obviously. She's not in the bathroom. And I'm like, oh, heck no. I was like, I'm out. She's in the hallway fighting. My mom's like, don't go out there. Don't go out there.
I gotta fight Bubba!
I opened the door. All I saw was this. People scrapping, throwing down in the hallway. And yes, my sister was there. My sister was holding her own, but it's my sister. I'm not gonna be like out in the house letting my sister out there fighting. So, man, when I opened the door, I just saw a whole bunch of smoke and hair and fingers and foots in the air. People were throwing down. I'm like, oh my gosh. Some dumb man is on my sister's shoulders. I don't know what he was doing. She was like, I don't know. That's what I saw. I just saw him. I tell you, I went up to him. This guy wasn't tall either, but he was taller than my sister. My sister's shorter than me. She's like 5'2", but he wasn't taller than me. It was weird. I went up to him. I said, bat on his shoulders and boom, threw him on the floor.
Let me tell you what this guy did.
This guy, he just sauntered down on the floor and stood there. He basically was like, all right, I'm just gonna pretend that I'm down for the count. I don't know. It was I almost laughed in my. It's like I mentally laughed. It was so funny because I bat and threw him and he just kind of slid to the floor and he stood there and I'm like looking at him like,
I didn't even hit you.
And I'm like, you're right, sis. You're right. She's like, yeah. Someone's like, touch me. I was like, man, did I tell you Miss Big Bertha was like,
Come here. I want a piece of you.
and she's like, I was like, are you serious? Is this Street Fighter? Is this Mortal Kombat?
Get over here.
I'm like, no.
I came to get my sister. That's what I came to do.
Nah, she wanted a piece of me, so I had to give it to her. This girl grabbed my shoulder, turned me around, and started like fighting me. I'm like, oh, here we go. Only thing I remember is I ended up on top of her. We somehow fell on the floor. I don't remember how that happened. We somehow fell on the floor. I had the upper hand because I somehow ended up on top of her. I think I'm a pusher. That's my thing. I'm more of a pusher. So I think I probably pushed her on the floor and whoa. And I just remember just going in. Let my neighbor and my sister tell you their story because apparently I was this like in their eyes I was doing this. I didn't do all that. Y'all hyping me up. I remember punching her face as hard as I could. Just like, bam. She got some good hits in, but when you're so hyped up and your adrenaline is so high, you don't feel it. All I remember is my face going like that. I didn't feel it. I just felt my face moving. It was almost like I was numb. I didn't care how many times she was either slapping me or punching me. I didn't let go. I just kept bam. I was like, because fighting, man, I'm not about that life. Fighting takes so much. You need oxygen. You know, if I was out of breath. No, I'm not fat shaming because I ain't slim at all. If I was out of breath, her big behind was out of breath. She was out of breath. We were like, I'm done. You. I got up. I was my mom's like, open the door. Get in the house. So me and my sister got in the house. Close the door. And you know when you finish fighting and you're so hyped and mad, you I was so hyped I couldn't calm down. My mom's like, calm down. I don't know who called the cops. I really don't remember. I know the cops were on their way. And it was just you're so hyped you can't get your words out. You're crying. You're out of breath. I was trying to calm down, but then I realized, whoa, wait, one important thing was missing. Y'all know what that is? Let me inform you. My brand new black and red wig I just bought. No, I should say red and black because I have more red in it. I think I have a picture. I believe I have a picture. If I have a picture, I'll put it in here. Now everybody know, I know I'm wrong. Every black person know, before you get into a fight, you take that wig off, you throw on the scarf, you put the Vaseline on, you put your Nikes on, you put your sneakers on, then you go into battle. But It wasn't that type of situation. Stuff was already going down. I had no time for that. I went back out there. I got my wig. When I tell you, that girl was still laid out. It wasn't too much longer, so I'm not gonna make fun of her for that. It's probably maybe 5 to 10 minutes later, but she was still laid out. Like,
I'm done. I can't.
but you wanted it. You, like Michael said, you want to be starting something. You got to be starting something. Like, you wanted to start with me. You wanted to fight, but you didn't have the lung capacity to do it. Like, come on, chill. I went back out there. She was laying on my wig. I saw some of it sticking out like, help! Help me! I can't breathe. I was like, my baby. I went out. I give me my wig. Kind of how, like, what's her name was like, give me my shit. I snatched it just like that. And I went and put it on my head and walked in the house. Hold on, I gotta take a recess break. Look, they had these on sale at my grocery store. And no, this is not sponsored. I'm just being fat. I love me some Reese's. I'll pop a whole bunch of these on. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? Don't worry, the story's almost over. I need water, children.
Nice.
So I was back in my house with my wig and my sister and my mom, and I was like, cool. My mom's like,
Don't go back out there.
I was like, okay, Mom, I'm not. I didn't want her to get it. She was getting upset because we kind of weren't. I told y'all not to. You know, moms do the hand. I told y'all not to go back out there. I was like, all right, Mom, all right. I'm not going back out. There's no need for me to go. My sister's in the house. I got my wig. Whew, thank God for the wig. We heard that the cops were outside. We heard the cops, and I was like, all right, Mom, we got to go to the cops and tell them what happened. Man, when I tell you I opened that door, my front door again, it looked like a tornado went off. It just, the hallway looked like I just came out of a tornado. You know those tornadoes and you just come out and you're like, what the? It looked like a hurricane came through the hallway. There was blood, hair, clothing, somebody's sock, somebody's sweater, ripped sweater on the floor. It was just a mess. So like I said, our building has that pre-lobby before. It was very small. It's like a little space. It's not big enough for like a bench in there. It's just a nice cubicle type thing. But it has a window, a glass window. So I went downstairs. I see the cops and everybody outside. I said, all right, let's go. Open the door to the lobby before you get in our building. Tell me how the glass is broken, y'all. The glass was broken. I'm like, what? When did that fight go from the hallway to the lobby? What happened? And that glass is huge, by the way. It's at least like, it's really big because you got to see, you know, outside. That thing was broken. I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get evicted. Like, there's no escaping. We're getting evicted today because we lived in a building complex, apartment complex, where we had like, it wasn't just some landlord, it was like municipal housing, and they had a set of rules and regulations. And yeah, if they got back to, hey, it was tenant in 1B, yeah, their people caused this fight. We could have got evicted, but by God's grace, we didn't. So we went outside. The cops were outside. My neighbor, Shaniqua, was explaining to the cops, but she's that hood chick that when she's pissed, she don't care who she's talking to. She don't be like, officer this. No, she don't care. She's like,
Y'all took mad long and da-da-da-da-da. My aunt was fighting
her aunt. When I found out her aunt fought, her aunt is, I think, either my mom's age or a little older. It's just like me picturing my mom fighting. And it was like, I felt so bad that her aunt, Linda, I'll call her Linda, fought. And I was like, oh my gosh. All I see is her hair. She had a short haircut at the time. Her hair was stood up to the left, and Shaniqua had blood on her face, and she's one of those angry criers, like,
No, my aunt farted. No, y'all can do something about this.
I came out with my wig and my hair was, it looked like I didn't fight.
Oops.
I didn't have no. I just felt so bad. I felt so bad. I did not know her aunt was fighting with her. And so we were trying to talk to the cops, and Shanique was like,
No, these fools ain't from here. Y'all need to do something. Y'all took mad long. Why y'all take so long?
and cops like,
Calm down, all right? Calm down. We got here as soon as we could, all right? We were down the street at Dunkin' Donuts, eating some donuts. I got hungry, all right? Calm down, man. Calm down.
the cops were taking report and asking questions, and then a very important question came up. Okay, what did they want? Why were they here? Well, they came because of my friend Felix. They wanted a SIM card. And then Shanique was like, where is Felix? That's a good question. Where was Felix this whole time? Maybe some of y'all were thinking throughout the story time, yeah, but you never mentioned Felix. You're right, I didn't.
Because I didn't know where he was.
I didn't realize Felix was missing until Shaniqua said, where's Felix? And the cop was like, well, why did they come here? What did they want? And I had to retell my story to the cops, and I were like, oh yeah, they came for Felix. And I'm like, wait, where's Felix? Sorry if you hear my sister. I already told her I'm recording. She don't seem to care. Right, Maya? I'm like, where's Felix? She was like, nah, get Felix out here right now. Get Felix, mad and angry with tears and snot and blood. It was just like,
Get Felix now, you know what I'm saying? It's because of his, you know what? These people we all fight, you know what I'm saying?
and the cops like,
Where's this Felix friend? He's your friend? Where does he live? Blah, blah, blah. So you said they came for him.
man, Shaniqua was getting more pissed because she was starting to realize she don't remember seeing Felix fight. And I was like, yeah. I was like,
You know, let me go look for him. Let me go look for him.
so I went back upstairs, went in the house. Mom, you see Felix anywhere? I don't see him. My sister, where's Felix? Wait, where's Felix? Yo, where's Felix? Nobody could find Felix. It was like finding Waldo. It was like finding a needle in a haystack. Felix was gone. The last time I remember seeing Felix was before the fight broke out. So we finished giving the report to the policeman.
They're like, all right, guys, calm down. Go back in your house. We're gonna take care. We're gonna find out who these hooligans are. We're gonna get to the bottom of it. You guys calm down. You have a nice night. Get back to the house.
Shanique was riled up. She was like,
Yo, whenever you find Felix, tell him if he steps on this block, he's getting jumped.
she was dead serious. So the dust settled. I went in the house, got on my phone, calling Felix. Where you at? I don't remember if he answered right away. I know I got in contact with him. Let me tell you what Felix did. This coward,
Yeah, you're a coward for that.
this fool called his daggone current girlfriend at the time, and he told us some bogus story for her to come and pick him up. Because our building has a basement and it has a a roof. And the basement has an exit. I think at some point when these hooligans went back outside, he slid out through the back door and had his little girlfriend pick him up. I'm not gonna lie, the story he said he told her, I actually started laughing. He's
I'm in danger. Help.
or something. But he dipped before the fight. We don't know when he slid out. Nobody saw him leave the apartment. This fool had his freaking girlfriend come and pick him up in the back of the building. It was just the most. I was like, are you serious? We in the hallway fighting for you. These people came here for you, Felix, not for us. We're fighting for this dude. We weren't fighting for him, but these people were for him. Okay? We're in the hallway fighting. My neighbor Shanique were getting involved. It don't even have nothing to do with her, but because that's just the type of building we had, we like, nah, this is our building. Her aunt fought. You get my mom upset because they're knocking on her door. I fought, my sister fights, my building glass gets broken. We can possibly get evicted, and you're nowhere to be found. You ran off with your girlfriend? He got a ride. He got picked up. And my mom was like, you know what? No. I love you, Felix, but no. You know, because Felix himself wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. It was just the people. He always hung around the wrong people. My mom's like, I love you, Felix, but you can't stay here. And no, that wasn't the last time he lived with us. But thankfully, the last time he lived with us it was drama free. So I let him know, like, look, Shaniqua threatened. She said, if you show your face on this block, you're getting jumped. Because of that, he was scared to get his belongings, his things. A few days later, that's the end of that fight story. We never got evicted, thank God. This was a few days later. This is not part of the fight story, but this is a little funny added addition to it. A few days later, because he was scared, he came by to get his stuff, and I had his bags packed, and I was a little sad because I really enjoyed Felix, even though I was mad at him. Me and him, when we did hang out, we had so much fun. I had my friends. Okay, she was my friend, my good friend at the time. Probably my best friend at the time. Her cousin liked me, and she was younger than us. I don't know. She just started randomly hanging out with me. She came over to my house. She had a little crush on Felix at one point. She was just hanging out with me that day for a few minutes, and Felix was like, oh, I'm outside with my girlfriend. But, you know, she was hanging out with me that day, and she was younger than us. She was silly and cackly. She always laughed at everything. So because she was the new girl and I was the ex, you want to be like, you want to look cute. You don't want to go outside looking like a ragamuffin. Like, oh, I'm glad you broke up with her. That's your ex. No, I wanted to go outside looking. And I'm sorry, it does have to do with a lot. She was a white girl and I was black.
And you're telling me that you're leaving me for a white woman?
Didn't expect that reaction.
So I wanted to look, we broke up, but not because I was a hot mess type of thing. You know, you want to look your best. So he's like,
I'm outside. You have to come get me my clothes.
Brought his bag, and my friend's cousin came with me, and I put my little red and black wig on, thinking I'm looking cute. I go outside. Y'all. Yo, I think, because I'm recording at my door, I think my neighbor who's trying to leave his apartment dropped his phone down the stairs. I don't know if y'all heard that. It was clunk, 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 clunk. Oh, here's. I go outside thinking I'm looking cute. Like, I don't care if I'm the ex. I still look good. And walking with my little friend, and a tree branch just, wanted to embarrass me. It just like, you. When I tell you walk past that tree branch, it's like, give me your forehead. My wig was hanging on the tree branch. Yep, laugh it up. I know. That was the most embarrassing. And the reason why I mentioned my friend's cousin and the fact that she's a cackler, what do you think she did? On the floor and everything. I'm like, really? And of course, Felix being a cackler too. So everybody's laughing at me. His girlfriend's scared to get out the car. She's like, oh no, I'm not getting out the car. In the car, just sitting there. I know she's laughing at me. She was cackling, and then I got Felix cackling, and then the tree's laughing at me too, because he's like, I got your wig. My wig was hanging like, are you gonna come get me or not? What are the odds, y'all? Oh, I was so embarrassed. I was like, really? I was so mad. I was like, give me my say! My lesson is, I just can't let people live with me. That's why it's just me and my sister. I don't want nobody living with me, no more friends, no more nothing. Because they may be cool, but the company they try to bring over, no bueno. So I don't want nobody living with me. The next person I want living with me is my husband. You feel me? I don't want nobody living with me no more. I'm done. But if you guys enjoyed this story time, please don't forget to hit the like button down below, okay? It helps YouTube spread my video, because YouTube is like,
Ain't nobody liking your stuff, so I ain't gonna help spread your channel.
thanks, YouTube. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Yes, I know I don't have any more storytime videos at this moment, but I will. Okay, so I am going to be doing more story times. So please stick around if you like hair videos. Stay tuned for my hair videos and cooking. I have a lot on my channel. Check it out if you're not subscribed. And until then, I'll see you guys in my next story time video. I probably will be doing another story time sometime in March. Yup, because I got a weird life. I gotta share it with the public, you know what I'm saying? Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Wait, we gotta do the Pam. I can't do it like